to The Rich Report, a podcast with news and information on the world of high productivity computing. Today my guest is from Maxta. We have the CEO and founder of the company, Yoram Novick. Yoram, welcome to the show today.
Hi, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Well, thanks for coming on, Yoram. What I thought we'd do is have you go through your slide deck, tell us more about Maxta, and after that we'll follow it with Q&A.
Okay, so let me start. I'm on slide 2. Basically, Maxta was founded with a mission to dramatically simplify and streamline IT by going after what we believe is one of the largest pain points in IT. Specifically, it is enterprise storage for virtualized environment. Maxta is based in San Diego, California. Amara, Steve Lardy, and myself are the executive. We got about 20 employees in the company. We got one VC investor, Andreessen Horowitz, that invested $10 million in the company. And while we have been in stealth mode so far, we actually have a product that is generally available and is in deployment with paying customers for quite some time. And we are very happy to get to the point where we get enough customers and enough reference accounts to really go and launch the company with a validation not just on the technology side, but as market validation as well. So let me start by talking about the challenges or the problems that are the basis for what Maxta is solving with our very unique product. So there are specific challenges that come with deploying storage in a virtualized environment. As we've seen in the last decade or so, the data center really transformed from a physical data center to mostly a virtual data center. And while server virtualization really redefined computing, storage didn't keep up with all those development, and it created several challenges. We see those challenges in 3 main areas. The first one is complexity. Enterprise storage is complex in the virtual data center because the same storage that is used for virtualized environment was originally designed for the physical data center with storage constructs such as volume, files, and logical units that were a good fit for the physical data center but are not good fit for virtualized environment, especially with the introduction of the virtual machine, since there is no corresponding construct on the storage side to match the virtual machine construct. So what it means is that administrators need to do a lot of translation or mapping. They need to figure out what is the size of the volume that they want to create. They need to decide how to map virtual machines to a volume. There are both cost consideration and performance consideration. And it is even more interesting when you get into the space of data services such as snapshot and clones, where the VM administrator managing virtual machines would like to take a VM level snapshot, while the storage provides usually a volume level or a file level snapshot, and there is no easy way to map one type of snapshot to the other, and that creates another level of complexity. The second challenge is the fact that in order to truly benefit from all the advantages of server virtualization, you need enterprise storage with multiple capability. You need highly available shared storage. You need very efficient snapshot and cloning at the VM level. And in order to keep up with data growth, you need capacity optimization techniques such as thin provisioning, compression, and deduplication. And getting all of those features and functions in an enterprise storage array is not easy, especially when all of those features need to be done at the VM level rather than at the storage level. The third challenge, and in some cases the most important one, is cost. Existing storage arrays are expensive and are complex to manage, and that means high CapEx, high capital expenses, as well as high operating expenses. And operating expenses are both because of the power, cooling, and flow space, as well as the management that come because of the complexity of managing storage in virtualized environment. And Maxta has been developing a solution that is addressing all of those challenges and providing a much simpler and cost-efficient storage for virtualized environment. So just a high-level overview of Maxta. Maxta provide multiple unique capabilities. First of all, it eliminates the need for storage array and storage networking. Once you are using Maxta, there is no need for any storage array to be connected to your server or any storage networking, and therefore we cut the cost as well as simplify the overall environment. We also dramatically simplify IT by providing everything at the VM level rather than at the storage level. So whether you have to create a new VM, it's very easy to get storage for that VM, and anything from there on has to be done at the VM level, which is what Maxta is doing. We provide all the features and functions such as snapshot, clone, replication, as well as all the capacity optimization technique like thin provisioning, compression, and deduplication that you expect from an enterprise storage solution. We also optimize for flash as well as disk drive technology, so you get the best of both worlds. You get the performance that the flash technology provides, as well as the cost and capacity advantages from disk drive by providing a new data layout, as well as providing both read caching as well as write back caching from the flash technology. We accomplish all of this with a convergence of compute and storage, and we do this on standard servers, so you can leverage any server technology from any vendor to maximize capital and operating expenses. And while Maxta is a very unique and new way to provide storage, we provide full coexistence, so you get the investment protection of being able to leverage existing legacy storage technology alongside Maxta. So if we take a look at the overall architecture of Maxta, you can see that we are basically leveraging servers. The entire infrastructure is based on server. There is no need for storage array or any other external box to provide storage. All of those servers provide their own hypervisor, and they can provide storage capacity, whether it's disk drive or SSD or both. You can also add servers that are providing only compute capacity. They do not have storage resources, and this enables us to scale both compute and storage independently. Maxta is the green box. We have one Maxta instance on each physical server. All of those instances work together as a distributed system to basically aggregate all the storage resources that are attached to all the physical servers. We provide one single master storage pool with one global namespace. So each virtual machine running on each one of the servers in the cluster can have full accessibility and visibility to the entire Maxta storage pool. And while every virtual machine can access any data wherever it is, we also optimize the placement of data so the data is close to the consumer of the data, and therefore we have a much better and much more efficient usage of resources. Every data stored for each VM is stored on at least two servers. So even if the entire server goes down, all of the data that was stored on that server is available to all the VMs that have been powered on other servers. So there is no data loss, and there is no loss of access to data due to the failure of a server. From a management point of view, Maxta doesn't provide its own user interface. We actually integrated all the capabilities of managing Maxta into the virtualization user interface. So you basically are able to leverage one single pane of glass to manage the entire infrastructure, whether it's the virtual machines or the storage or anything between them. So the value proposition, or the reason that customers are purchasing Maxta, can be summed in three areas. The first one is we dramatically simplify IT by enabling administrators to manage virtual machines, not to manage storage. At the same time, Maxta provides no compromise in the sense that we enable all of the features and functions that you expect from enterprise storage array, but we do that at the server layer. So we provide the resiliency, availability, data protection, and agility, as well as all the other data management features that are required for enterprise applications. And last but not least, we maximize cost saving by leveraging convergence, commodity component, as well as reducing floor space, power, cooling, and especially reducing the management associated with managing storage in virtualized environments. Some of Maxta capabilities are in this slide 7. The first one is that we streamline IT by integrating storage with virtualization, and we do it all the way from the user interface to data management. So storage is an integral part of IT rather than storage being added and need its own unique management. Second point is that we protect applications simply and efficiently by having best-in-class network and cloning technology, and by doing data protection at the VM level, we get a very efficient data protection mechanism, as well as do it in a way that is consistent with what the customer expects it to be. We also deliver very high level of data integrity, as well as maximize storage capacity with thin provisioning, compression, deduplication, and optimizing for flash performance and disk drive capacity, so you can keep growing your data at a large pace while at the same time keep costs under control. In terms of use cases, Maxta has been targeting multiple use cases, both at the enterprise layer as well as the mid-market and SMB layer. At the enterprise, we have been going after remote offices, test and development environment. We are also having a customer using storage at their DR site, where Maxta is the provider of storage at the DR site, while they may use other storage solutions at their primary site, and VDI is another use case. We are also going after mid-market and SMB customer, and over there we are providing storage all the way from primary storage to secondary storage. And we do have today customers deployed in each one of those use cases, and we have reference customers as well in each one of them. In terms of go-to-market strategy, we are going after a channel-focused sales model. Initially, as a new company, we started by selling direct, but every time we close the deal, we fulfill the deal through the channel. Now we are in phase 2, where we have a multiple channel partner, mostly system integrator and value-added resellers, and those partners are working with us together to deliver Maxta mostly in 2 kinds of deployment. The first one is that they are basically reselling Maxta software, and the second model is that the channel or the system integrator basically integrate Maxta into an existing solution based on server platform, virtualization software, and Maxta software, and deliver it as a data center in a box. We are also working with several OEM partners. This is a future opportunity for us to also deliver Maxta as an OEM product fully integrated into other vendors' technology. For obvious reasons, we are initially focused on VMware customers and channel, although we are working on other hypervisors as well. Our initial focus is North America, although we have paying customers in production outside North America as well.
Well, thanks for that, Yoram. A question comes to mind here. What's the genesis of this? Did you see a big gap out there in the marketplace as virtualization started to take off?
Absolutely. So I think that the genesis is that what I saw initially was that server virtualization was really very good in terms of consolidating servers and enabling higher level of efficiency and even performance in some cases. But every time I talked to customers who deployed virtualization and I asked them, why aren't you deploying it in a larger scale, or why can't you get more? It always boiled down to, well, we couldn't because storage gets in the way. And I even remember I had one discussion with the customer that say, my problem is very simple. Virtualization essentially gave me the potential to create servers in seconds rather than wait for a week for a physical server to arrive. But that's not really working well, because while it takes a second to create the virtual machine, it may take me hours or days to get the storage team to give me the storage that I can use it for it. So basically, the virtualization is a great idea at the server side, but the bottleneck is the storage, and Maxta main value is really to open up this bottleneck and enable storage to match compute in terms of simplicity, agility, availability, and cost.
Yeah. It sounds like they like the agility of virtualization, and you've added the storage component to make it more of a viable option. That's pretty exciting.
Yes, definitely. So the interesting point is that there are what you can call point solutions. There are some ways to provide agility, but usually it doesn't come with the right level of performance. So getting both the agility and the performance, and at the same time get the right cost, really is the way to address the problem. Because there are some solutions just to agility, there are some solutions just for performance, and there are some solutions that are enabling competitive cost. But putting it all together is the magic. So that's what server virtualization did. They didn't just address one area. They got both the agility and the performance and the right cost, and the same is required from storage.
Yeah. So, Yoram, as a company would look at this, how disruptive would it be to implement this in an existing kind of environment?
So it's going to be very difficult, and that's why it took us as long as it took us to do it, because it's not basically easy to just take an existing architecture that may work very well for a different environment, say a storage array, and port it to work in a virtualized environment. Basically, the design requires you to create a solution that is highly distributed, at the same time very integrated into another platform, which is the virtualization, and provide a good leverage of all the existing resources that actually are very different than the resources that people used a long time ago. So Flash is a new resource that come into the scene, and commodity servers and the ability to do virtualization across a large number of servers are all new ideas that were not there before when other storage solutions were designed based on a very different set of assumptions.
Well, great. Well, Yoram, kind of a wrap-up question here. So what's the next stage for Maxta? Is it to add speed, more flexibility? What would you say?
So we see, in terms of the roadmap, we see the future in multiple directions. First of all, as I indicated earlier, we started with the VMware platform for obvious reason. It's a dominant platform, and we believe that this was the right way to start. So on the VMware platform, we are going after more and more use cases and really optimizing the solution to really support larger and larger environments. At the same time, we are going after other hypervisor environments to be able to support other non-VMware virtualized environments, which we see growing over time and becoming, more prevalent than they are today. So we are going both deep into doing more in a given platform, as well as going wide by supporting more and more virtualization scheme and become the dominant storage solution across multiple hypervisors rather than just on a single one.
Yeah. Well, Yoram Novick, I want to thank you once again for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
You bet. Thanks again. Okay, folks, that's it for the Rich Report. Stay tuned for more news and information on the world of high productivity computing.